Joining me now, Republican Pennsylvania Congressman and ranking member of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee on Oversight, Congressman Mike Kelly. Congressman, let's start with the Mueller report. And the acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, he was on Fox News Sunday this morning, and he said that he doesn't have much interest in seeing the full report. Do you want to see it?
Well, you know what? I know there's a lot to the report, and a lot of time was spent on it, a lot of taxpayer dollars were spent on it. We have an attorney general that walks us through these things. I have great faith in that system. I don't know that I have to personally see it. I don't know that many Americans have the time to go through the whole report and start underlining things or looking at things that were redacted and trying to figure out what exactly happened.
But given the amount of time and energy that was spent on this special counsel's investigation, I mean, I think a lot of the American public is curious about exactly what's in it, but aren't you curious to kind of really read the fine print?
Well, you know, when you say the American public is anxious to see this report, I think they're anxious to hear what's in the report, but to actually see the report and try to go through it page by page would be pretty difficult. I think that what we voted on in the House was to open up the Mueller report so it could be looked at. I have no qualms about people looking at the report. There are some certain areas that probably should be redacted because of the different policies that we have instituted to protect private interests. But again, that's what the Mueller investigation was all about. I have great faith that Mr. Mueller did his investigation the right way. If people want to see the report and we open up the report, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to push back on that. I just think that there's a lot more in there than people could possibly imagine. And there's certain things, there's privacy laws that we still do embrace in this country.
So President Trump just got back from the border, and one of his main messages while he was there is that it is now time for Congress to act, finally, once and for all, on passing some kind of meaningful immigration reform, especially to close all of those loopholes in the immigration laws. So what are House Republicans doing now to try to do that, to try to actually get something done on immigration?
Yeah, no, first I couldn't agree with the president or with most Americans. Listen, I've been in Congress for 8 years. Somehow we're going to do this reform of immigration. We never quite get to it because it's too politically advantageous in certain areas. And the first area was about the DACA, the Deferred Action on Childhood Arrivals. Well, that was like, well, we need to have this many. And the president says, well, I'll give you twice that many. Well, that's a non-starter. Look, the Congress has a responsibility to come together and do it. If we could look at good policy as opposed to politics, intervening in the next election. You know, keep in mind, any type of progress that's going to be taking place right now, if it looks as a Trump achievement or somehow the president was able to bring something about, and on the one side, it's going to be, no, we don't want to do that because we're getting close to an election. The other side is, we've been waiting so many years to get this done. To me, it's just common sense. But keep in mind,
Congressman, I know
all the border security, because everything we're enforcing right now is from the previous administration. So a lot of what the president's enforcing took place under President Obama's administration. So this idea that somehow President Trump is doing it is wrong.
If I could just jump in here, because I want to ask you about something that was filed in court just yesterday. The Trump administration wants up to 2 years now to reunite some of these children with their families that were separated at the border. 2 years. Are you okay with that?
Listen, I don't know what the raw numbers are, but when you look at the masses of people that are coming across and they're being coached ahead of time, say, when you get there, just claim asylum. A lot of these children aren't with their parents. I don't know how you begin.
A lot of them were with their parents, and a lot of them were separated. And now it's going to take 2 years to reunite them.
But, Kirsten, keep in mind, the policy that's being affected or enacted or put into place is policy that was there before the Trump administration came into. All the detention was all based on previous administration's activities. How would you bring this about? I feel really horrible that anybody has to be separated from their children from their parents. But I don't know how you handle the volume of what's taking place at our borders right now and say that we can do this in a thoughtful way. I know that there's a lot of human trafficking taking place right now. I have friends that have been to the border. You were at the border. It is a crisis right now, and it's a humanitarian crisis as much as a legal crisis.
It is a crisis, but the policy of separating children at the border was imposed by the Trump administration. So a lot of this now hangs on the U.S. government to get these families and their children back together. Congressman, I have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.